That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to Flowers of Fire. This is one of the only open mics in Boyle Heights, East Los Angeles, and it's been going on for a couple years now. We're very proud of it. The energy that is created here goes out into the world, and it's beautiful, and we love it.
This is our community. We're very proud of our community. Our roots run really deep right here. There's a lot of history in this community. For example, 2 blocks down, Cesar Chavez was trained by Saul Alinsky in a building on First in Chicago. A lot of things have happened right here. There's been a lot of resistance, a lot of building, a lot of self-determination. Corazon del Pueblo, it's a space that was opened by us from Boyle Heights, realizing that there's a poverty of opportunity in our community, right? There's an absence of accessibility to beautiful things, or what is so-called beautiful. You know, if you go to the other side of town, there's an abundance of art galleries, movie theaters, parks, recreation. This side of town is almost as if it was set up for us to just work and go home. There's a lack of safe spaces in our community. You know, if you draw a map of Boyle Heights and you say, hey, I just worked 12 hours, I'm going home with my family, but we want to do something. You know, there's no movie theater in Boyle Heights. So you got to go to Montebello, Alhambra, to these so-called safe spaces to be entertained. Hollenbeck Park is right here, but anybody who lives around here knows, the park is overran sometimes by tecatos and folks who are out there drinking. So to us, to see a space that was available like this, a room, we saw it as an opportunity to be proactive. Because we all believe in something different. We all believe in change, in some kind of change. We believe that this world or the system that exists right now isn't really working for our people. I think we know that, we feel it, and we can't sit around and wait for anybody to change it for us. That's just not going to happen. That's not the way things are set up right here. No one's going to come and just create entertainment and beautiful things for us so we can enjoy the fruits of life. That's not going to happen. And we've learned this through our own history as Chicanos, as brown people in this community. So Corazon del Pueblo is an open space for folks to come here to do work, to learn from each other, to be creative with each other, to embrace each other, to make new friendships, to open up your heart, to try to create the change that we want to see. If we do believe in a new world, then we have to have some examples of what that's supposed to look like. And sometimes the examples that we have, like these rooms or places like Tia Chucha's, so when we do it organically from ourselves, it's beautiful. And so many things come out of that. So something like tonight, a space like this tonight, be free. Know that everybody here is here with a good heart. Everybody here is here because we're proud to be brown, right? Because we love our entertainment. We love entertaining each other. We love having a good time, dancing, singing, paintings, whatever we want to do. So in that spirit, let's give it our all. Let's enjoy each other. Let's make this like the best that we can. Today is the oldest we've all been in our lives, right? Is this the oldest you've ever been in your life today? Literally, right? Hey, but ¿sabes qué? Today is the youngest you're ever going to be for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So be present. Be here, be present. Enjoy it. Thank you for coming to Corazon del Pueblo. Please keep coming back. Y que viva la raza.
Maywood, city of sanctuary of immigrants, or just home to me. From Slauson to Randolph and everything in between, where railroads meet you at Bow. Here in the city where water runs brown and lead runs deep within our veins, where LAUSD seems to kick people out of their homes, and Jura Chueca fue y vino y se fue otra vez. When push comes to shove, community comes together. Maywood, the city where you can lose count of mom and pop stores, where liquor stores, markets, and carnicerias run the town. Kids load up on candy and flaming hot Cheetos. Food for less is used for foreign cravings. Maywood, right next to Bow, HP, and Vernon, the small, weirdly shaped city, oddly divided, that's how I describe it. ¿De dónde eres? LA. ¿Pero de qué parte? East LA. Bueno, 10 minutes from there off the 710 going southbound, a small city town que se llama Maywood. Right there in the middle of Scandalous Bell, Paisa Town, HP, and Poisonous Vernon. Se llama Maywood. ¿Cómo? Linwood, you said? No, not Linwood. Maywood. It's been in the news lately. Thank you.
So this is my 3-string guitar. This is what I perform with. I hope you guys enjoy it. to see the sun bleed itself on my face. I don't want to register my mind. I don't want to foretell my future just yet. Let the darkness run. Let the darkness cover my heart. Let the sun bleed on my face. Let the darkness erase everything that I can see. Let the darkness run free. Let the darkness run free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let the darkness run free. Let the darkness run free. Let the darkness run free. The darkness run free. Thank you.
This was recently inspired. Someone kind of lit my fire again, so I'm ready. El sol tira rayos, me despiertan. La calentura de las sábanas desaparece. Mis ojos suben con cansancio. Respiro y se llenan mis pulmones con vida. La sangre se sube en mis manos, en mis pies. Mi piel se enchina por el frío del piso. Mis pasos volando. Sobre la madera, gemando de edad, el amigo blanco, el lavamanos. Abrí la llave, el agua corriente. Pintó mi cara con limpieza. El cepillo arrastrando mi boca, peinando mis dientes. Empujé las cortinas y el día me saludó. Por la ventana empieza la cascada de agua dulce, mi ropa escapando, mi nudez, la ternura de mi piel, mi pelo ahogada con frescura, mis manos explorando nuevas sensaciones, mis palmas acariciando la fuerza de mi cuerpo, respiros profundos, las burbujas de jabón me besan, me abrazan, me tocan. Bailan con los cueros de mi imaginación. Mis emociones, mis pensamientos se borran con tranquilidad. Corriendo en los caminos de mi figura, temblando mis piernas con placer. Mis puntillas, mis dedos enroscazados, me pongo débil. Alcanzo a agarrar el azulejo. Se parten mis labios. Casi me desmayo del afecto. Con el codo en la pared, apago la agua, abro la cortina. El sol se ha puesto celoso, su belleza me enciega, cierro mis ojos, pasan unos momentos, abro la vista y en el espejo, ahí te encuentro.
Because I am a smuggler, soy traficante, I deal in illicit phraseology. I speak in illegal tongues. I revel in mad metaphors recently released from straight jacket stifling. I revel in forgotten memory colored with the ancient glyphs and told to me by candlelight under cover of night by sage poetas and truth tellers. Too many are too blind or too vain or too young to recognize or uncover. Good morning, boys and girls. Can you say Ansaldúa or Burciaga or Sanchez or Salinas? If they're banning me in Arizona, it's because we're banned from the beginning. Even baby brown berets in East LA are bereft, denied a birthright writ in the blood of prison poets like Salinas, Sanchez, and Jimmy Baca. We are born smugglers. La palabra. Predisposed to papyrus, since grown numb in front of television fiction, yet Malverde smiles on us nonetheless. Porque somos traficantes y mi vicio siempre será la palabra de la liberación. La metáfora desencadenado de un pueblo equipado y armado with the books they try to take. We are the inevitable song and lyric they will try to silence, dressing it in a need to enforce this nation's laws and protect the borders imposed at the barrel of a gun. But bullets will never stop the stampede of lyrical truth or the blessing of a barrio bard who took me under wing and showed me words were sacred like the sweat. That traficantes, true traficantes, know the secret routes from underground presses to university halls like the backs of their tattooed hands. And we will slang prose and poetry and book and blog until they finally and truly reveal themselves for the fascist book burners that they are and always will be, knowing deep down in their true lonely souls that despite manifest destiny, this land is not theirs and never was. Soy traficante orgulloso de la canción en idiomas y sonetos en olor y el canto de las flores. Soy luna y baile con mi madre en la tierra maya quiché y mexica. I traffic in banned books and felonious turns of phrase because this is what I learned and this is all I know.
How y'all doing? This is Andrea Zanika. I'm Irene Diaz, and we wrote a song together.
Ay, 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 ay. Toma mi corazón, porque es tuyo y yo te quiero. Deja ya de sufrir, si ya estás aquí pretendiendo vivir. Vienes y te vas y siempre regresas, yo soy tu verdad. Date oportunidad a vivir este amar, mereces probar.
Yo traté de
No
olvidar,
puedo
de
dejarte,
buscarte.
quiero regresar,
No quiero rogarte,
vete por tu parte o déjame amarte. Quieres regresarte, no sabes dejarme. Si yo soy tu arte, déjate amarme. Ay, ay, ay,
by the river rushing past me. Reeds vibrate, swirling, swish, swish. Tamarind dust hits my face. The taste and smell, earth's closeness. Tamarinda acidez, a constant tickle against the throat. Lo agridulce takes me to my mother's breast, los senos de mi madre. Un rocío de voces, mujeres sewing desde la alta postura, mujeres organizing las cosas de la vida, las cosas habitadas con acidez, esa acidez en la piel, women organizing life amidst of voices, embroidered, bittersweet against the skin, inhabited, limón con miel, cucumber and honey, the cooling comfort of hierbabuena, mi nana, mi tía, todas ellas en el bordado sobre el tocador. Rosewood, cedro, wet hair glistens in the sun, luciéndose en el sol de la mañana. Voices are the dew of morning. Baño de rosas para saber de hoy, del más allá. Rosewater, la sensualidad del tacto sobre el día de una mujer. Finding the words, encuentro de palabras habitadas. Suben y bajan las manos. Fingers that rise and fall.
The whole idea behind this is that we need to be against every oppressor. Everybody who's put us down, who's put down our history, all those people banning our books and our short stories, trying to erase our history, and we do it con qué? With our art. We do it with our heart. We do it with our talents. We do it with our gifts. So this is the way that we take on the system. So poetry is revolution, ¿que no? Because in poetry we can express the stories that nobody else can tell. Memories of childhood rise up like a twisted vine, mocking the granite sinews of this adult body and the solid layers of lies that have become my face, demanding a lightness of foot and of fears as antidotes to the round-bellied nightcrawler I've succumbed to. This clown in tattooed skin, a priest without prayers, the wrinkled figure in a soggy coat on a scorched plain. Fire awakens me, although I'm cold inside, surrounded by carcasses of embattled loves and blistered stories, always ending with betrayals and dismissals, with the turning away of the most emblazoned eye. They are the settled, unholy ingredients in the bottled angst I've traded on street corners, poetry bars, living room arguments, and between the multi-tracked songs that singe the cluttered paths of my lunacies. I can't hide. I can't run. The runes speak to me in whispered cadences with scrolled breath, blurting out curative threats, words that bob in a rushing mud river, ripping the flesh of crew invictives, addressing me like a worried mother, a tired frog outside my window, while laying me down on the ground, crawling with spiders and my best intentions. I've learned to live on chicken and vegetable soups, long walks, coca leaves inside my cheeks, chicha morada, the way the natives did for thousands of years, with few calories, yet still energized, awake, strong, and even the wooded hills and high altitudes are less formidable, less monstrous, more like brothers, like leaves, like a welcoming breeze. Machu Picchu, you were always in my crowded dreams, in the faded colors of my worn clothes, on the folds near my eyes, always a tree branch to cling to, a father when my own father ate the hearts of his children, as a brother in the heroin nights of my downtowns, even when I had never seen you. I'm here, and I sense this open citadel help shape my hands, my mouth, the many constants of my inconsistencies in whatever death melody I played but never died to. A place, an embrace, a cauldron of history I never knew I had. Machu Picchu survived the thousands from my steps to seal this pact, to communicate what winds and tortured rain cannot do, as a meditation in stone, moss, and cloud, with 2-inch hummingbird and satin flower to accompany me, climbing the heights of this carved wound on a grinning mountain, to the depths of my own negations and hypocrisies, and to whatever song suggests my slow and languid tearing out of my skin. I've been doing these rants around the country, and they're just me talking about things, and I have an issue I got to bring up, so I'm going to do rant number 251. And it's about going to the doctor. I have a lot of illness. You get older like me, you get them anyway, but because of my crazy life, I have bad liver, my kidneys aren't too good, I have diabetes, I have high blood pressure, the whole thing. So anyway, I'm going to the doctors, and here's what they tell you. I don't got no health care. So I'm going to the county. What do they tell you? Here's a pill. There's your medicine. There's a pill. Here's the medicine. There's a damn pill. Here's the medicine. They're a bunch of liars. That ain't medicine. The medicine is already inside me. It's already in you. Those pills aren't the medicine. Those pills are the lies they give you to disempower you, to make you think that you don't got your own medicine, that you can't heal yourself, to make you think that you don't got what God has given you to survive and live in this world. They make it so that it's detached from the world, that you have no connection to it, and they have to create something in some lab and tell you that's medicine. They're liars. Yeah. Don't believe them. I'm not against all the pills. Some pills help, but they only can help your own body make the medicine that it already has. And if they don't tell you this, they're taking the power away from you. So don't believe those liars. Don't believe those people who take it away from you. You have the power in your hands. You have the power to make change. You have the power to make this a community. They say this is a messed up community. It's got gang violence. It's got poverty. Well, guess what? Give it back to us. Put it in our hands, and we'll make this the greatest community ever. We'll make this community where everybody wants to be here, and poetry is everybody, everywhere, and people sing and play that beautiful 3-string guitar over and over again. And that's what we can make if they give it back to us and make us the real doctors and the real medicine that we were meant to be. I'm going to do an East Side poem. This is the place on a real place. I renamed the place, but there used to be a hell of a place in Lincoln Heights, a bar that I used to go to all the time. And it was like the rowdiest place you ever could imagine. So my first wife actually worked there. So this is the poem that I wrote about, but I renamed it. I call this the Bullseye Inn, okay? And it's got apologies to T.S. Eliot for the first 2 lines. Let us go then, you and I, to the Bullseye Inn. Through the rusted iron gates into the dark and damp, stepping on sawdusted floors gushing with ether. Where my ex-wife once waited tables on weekends grinning with death, come to where the blood, beer, and barf flowed with the bourbon washes. My ex-wife often invited me to watch over her. My job on those weekends, she explained, was to sit in a dark corner by myself and keep the out-of-work mechanics, the foundrymen, and slow-talking cholos from going too far, which was like blowing a balloon and trying to stop before it burst. Dudes would buy her drinks, and she brought the drinks over to me. Laid back against a plush seat, I silently toasted their generosity. I did a toast to her too, to our babies, to the bloodshot eyes of East LA nights and the midnight romps we once had near naked in the park. Many times in the candlelit haze, as a disc jockey played tunes behind a chain link barrier, the bullets came flying and their beer bottles crashed on the wall behind my head. Once on the dance floor, Some dude smacked his old lady to the ground. Later that night, she returned, firing a .22 handgun into the bar, missing everybody, as little Willie G crooned "Sad Girl" from a turntable. Con artists congregated here, including the Earl of Lincoln Heights, who sold homes he didn't own. And boys with tattoos and scars crisscrossing skin prowled the pool tables, passing bills while trying to out-hustle each other as disco beats and cumbias pulled people onto the lopsided dance floor. My ex-wife danced here too. I watched dudes hold her, kiss her neck, eye her behind, and look down her sweaty breasts. I also knew this was the closest I would ever get to her anymore. In that dark corner, with beer bottles rising from the table when she needed me. Outside the Blues Eye Inn, the hurting never stopped. Outside the Blues Eye Inn, we locked into loathing, shrouding in the lips of love. Outside the Bullseye Inn, we had 2 children who witnessed our drunken brawls. My boy once entered our room and danced and laughed with tears in his eyes to get us to stop. But inside, beside the blaze of bar lights, she was the one who stole into my sleep, the one who fondled my fears, the one who inspired the lust of honeyed remembrance. She was the song of regret behind a sudden smile. Muchas gracias, Lazo Kamati. Thank you all very much.